another intellectual cricketing video discussion with our regular panelists, making sense of this double Saturday where we saw two matches. We'll be discussing the first match in this video. We have Dwaipan and Jay, our regular panelists, with me today. Hello, Dwaipan. Hello, Jay. We are here to make a sense of the match that went between Mumbai and DC. And obviously, DC ended up on the winning side. But a great match went on till the last over. In the 20th over, DC finally won the match. But a low-scoring one expected on the Sharjah pitch, the 46th match of IPL. Once again, DC cementing their place, the second position after 12 matches. They win 18 points. So and Mumbai once again staggering, and DC completing their double over MI. And my first question to Dwaipan, an integral part of the DC Toli, who is always very energetic about the DC matches, and smiling and beaming Dwaipan, obviously, with the match of DC. But obviously, there were commentators were saying that the better bowling team won today, because on a pitch like Sharjah, obviously, all the batsmen are struggling. But if you're able to take quick wickets, you dominate and you end up as the victorious side. So the bowling of DC was phenomenal today. Akshar Patel and Avesh Khan picking up 6 wickets between them. Akshar Patel being the man of the match. And they literally spearheaded and led the team to a victory. So, Dwaipan, your comments about DC's phenomenal bowling and overall DC's performance in the match today.
Yes, I mean, it's a great win. But let's look at the events as it happened. Mumbai Indians were out to bat first. I felt that Rohit today is going to lead by example, is going to, tell his boys that, it's high time we need to. They couldn't have afforded another slip up, which eventually they did. So I was, even as a DC fan, I was wary about him. He has a good record against DC. Who got him out? Avesh Khan. When in the second over? How? Rohit Sharma is one of the best pullers in the game, the pull shot. And it's one of his strengths, For Rohit Sharma to attempt a pull shot and the ball ending up going to third man, getting caught there, means he got beaten for pace. That's what Avesh Khan did. Avesh Khan's figures were very nice, 3 for 15 of 4. I mean, it makes for impressive reading, but it also was very impactful because he broke the bone of MI in 2 different phases of the innings. At the top, when he dismissed Rohit, and at the end, when he came and bowled that beautiful Yorker to Hardik Pandya. I mean, it was just top class. Hardik Pandya increasingly tends to get himself into positions while hitting shots. It looks very nice and swagger when it comes off, not so much when it does not. But yeah, and about Akshar Patel, I mean, he got the man of the match because he had a role with the bat as well. But for me, I felt Avesh Khan was the guy who set it up at the very beginning.
And was more economical as well, Avesh Khan.
Yeah. And was more economical as well. And yeah, I mean, it's been an overall very impressive performance, not only because I would have been slightly key agar today, Shaw and Gabbar would have come out, played it again, blazing guns shot. But this was different. DC had to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation. Next time when something similar happens in the playoffs, they'll be like, yes, we have been here before. We need not panic. We have got across the line. It was not one of the easy games for them, but it's sign of a good side. So yeah, I'm very happy.
True. So very interesting point raised by Dwaipan. Obviously, the different teams have been struggling in this leg of the IPL, especially on the pitches of Sharjah, where the games have been quite topsy-turvy of a kind. But the brilliant performance by DC is a testament to the fact that they have been adapting to the changing pitch requirements. So obviously, a victory for DC was very important. But in a way, even if they would have ended on the losing side, it wouldn't have ended their dreams for this season, for this leg of the IPL. But a victory for MI would have, kept their hopes alive. But now MI, once again, on the losing side, staggering their way forward. And so my question now to Jay, how do you feel? What will be Mumbai's way forward? Do you see any hopes of Mumbai entering the playoffs? And if not, what do the team re-strategize and, come back better, like Chennai did for this season's IPL? What do you feel? Where did Mumbai lack, and how should they come back for the next season's IPL as well?
When we talk about Mumbai Indians, I guess they still have a bit of chances here because we are having a 4-way showdown this time with Mumbai, Kolkata Knight Riders, Punjab, and Rajasthan Royals. They are all having the same, more or less the same kind of stand, but Mumbai is taken a beating when we talk about the net run rate. So when we talk about Mumbai Indians, like, they are already trying to find their rhythm. They are already trying to find a place in which they can do better, because they have bought in Saurabh Tiwari up ahead instead of Ishan Kishan, because Ishan Kishan wasn't doing much. So they are trying to play their fiddle. They are trying to get around, and they are already working on what all is, like, happening. When we talk about Rohit Sharma after the post match interview, he talking about kind of hit the game out. They had would be what they had to do on the pitch, but they just are falling short on the execution side. The middle order, it has been pointed out repeatedly, and they themselves know it better than anybody else, because they study the pitch, the analytics, and the kind of matchups after each and every game. So they know where and nobody captains today. I saw one major difference was, like, you had an experienced player standing till the end, that was Shreyas Iyer, that gave them the kind of confidence and the kind of patience to wait it out that long. Because if Shreyas Iyer was gone, Ashwin might have tried to hit it hard. He might have gone out sooner. But because Shreyas Iyer was present, there was the peace of mind, there was the patience, and Ashwin they kept choke at the end, even though the it required was very less, which we have seen a number of teams doing at Sharjah. So, like, this was one of that made a difference, that you need one key player sticking around till the end, and the other and maybe other people playing around, or you need either things, like, no need of the moment for Mumbai Indians. And the other hand, their bowling is doing really well. Like, extending this game till the 20 overs, where we were, like, expecting it to end in 15 or 16 overs. The total was not that much, and the kind of batting lineup and form the Delhi Capitals have. So bowling is doing their job. The batting just has to pick up the pace.
True.
Yeah.
Jaipan, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, just one thing about MI is what I feel is it's just one bad season for them. Interestingly, what I feel next year is gonna be the mega auction, players retention. So we might see the end of a MI code that has ruled the IPL for the last 3-4 years. They might not have all the players now. The season, I feel it's difficult for them to qualify from now, maybe mathematically, but something just did not click for them this year, and it can happen. They are one of the most consistent sides in the tournament. It is what CSK happened in 2020. MI has been just that. Few things here and there. I just want to speak out Jayant Yadav for 2 seconds. I mean, he just comes in and plays against DC, right? In the final, he did that last year. He did pretty well. Today, he did that. So we made a running joke, that Jayant Yadav is never into the team sheet unless he waits for DC game twice in a group stage to happen. But yeah, for MI it's tough, but it's not very heartbreaking for them. It happens. It's sport. One day you're up, the next day you're down. So
True. So I guess Jayant Yadav believes in this idiom that chun chun ke badla lunga. So, like, maybe they're waiting for DC to come and then perform well against them. But a very interesting point raised by Jay about how the mature performance and the mature batting of Shreyas Iyer help the other players to get into form and play well. So Mike, this brings us to the discussion of the day, an important segue into the discussion. We discussed about DC's bowling, MI's batting, MI's bowling, but now coming back to DC's batting, I mean, the first 3 wickets fell for, I guess, 20-30 runs. We saw Dhawan getting run out by Pollard. Smith also got bowled by Coulter-Nile, and a lot of we saw that I felt that maybe MI could win the match in the first 5 overs because DC wasn't performing well. But then Shreyas Iyer came, obviously 33 from 33 balls, not a great strike rate, so to speak, but at the end of the day, if you see that performance has been on a Sharjah pitch where everyone was literally struggling and where he was giving the confidence to other players to bat as well. That is a testament to his brilliant performance, a mature performance, so to speak. So a question first to Dwaipan and then to Jay. How do you analyze the performance by Shreyas Iyer, and do you feel that he has done enough to be included in the World T20? I mean, we can always extrapolate the performance of Shreyas Iyer in the IPL and then to how he might perform in the coming World Cup. So can you draw parallels? And that will be the discussion for the day. First Dwaipan and then Jay.
Yeah, see, about what you said about Shreyas Iyer 33 or 33 too doesn't sound very amazing when you look at the scorecard. But even in T20 cricket, the good sides, the good players are those who adapt to different surfaces. We saw Punch trying to come and hoik it again, which is something that I felt was not the best thing to do. Yes, it's good to back your natural instincts, but as Rahul Dravid said, you never play your natural game, you play the situation. So that's what Iyer has done. And Iyer, what I have liked the most, it's a match awareness kind of a situation. Had he followed suit and thought how to break himself out of jail by playing some shots, he would have lost his wicket. And very true that even Ashwin would have left sooner. I guess Jay said that. So it's something that you need champion sides, like good sides. I won't say, see, DC hasn't won a IPL yet. So I'm just looking at what has happened till now, and you need different players to perform at different stages of the innings. There's a reason why our RCB hasn't won an IPL yet. So Delhi, the most satisfying fact for me is different players stepping up at different times in the tournament, and also not doing the same kind of thing. You might see Shreyas Iyer do a 70 or 40 balls next day when the batting surface is good. So that kind of adaptability is something that separates good teams from the ordinary teams. So yeah, that's Iyer. About second part, World Cup selection, I feel he's good enough to be in the top 15 of India. So yeah, that's my answer. Yeah.
What about you, Jay?
I would like to talk, put light on the way he played. Like he was waiting for a few balls, he was taking singles, he was giving, exchanging the strike position. And when he saw a decent ball, he wasn't afraid to, hit it for a boundary or, go crazy on that one ball that the bowler has made a mistake on. So he had the presence of mind where he's putting the pressure on the bowlers, even though they are hurt, and still he's not playing those risky shots. So, that presence of mind at the end of the game where they needed to sustain that partnership, because that partnership and the batting that he did, again 33 of 32 or 31, doesn't sound that good, or doesn't sound like that much of a feat that he has achieved, but the kind of conditions that he has played in and the kind of effect that it had on the whole inning. So when you look at it in that kind of a perspective, so it makes all the difference in the world. And the way he has come out of the injury, coming back under Rishabh Pant and supporting him in a number of games, supporting the whole lineup in a number of games, and then today's knock. So Shreyas Iyer has been doing his part, and I would say he should be, he is eligible to be selected. That would be really great for him. Coming back out of this, coming back from the injury when he gave it all up, and now coming and winning with the Delhi Capitals, and then going on to playing with Team India, that would be really good for him.
And leaving a mark in such a short space of time. Players when they come back from an injury, they are not quite the same player for the first.
Yeah, when you look at Hardik Pandya, he has also come out of an injury and he's not able to do that well because
Hardik Pandya had a waste some injury in 2018 after that England Test series, and I feel he's yet to recover from that. It's been 3 years. So
That's true. So an interesting points raised by both our panelists tonight about how Mumbai needs to re-strategize and prepare themselves for the next season, because I guess the chances of them qualifying for the playoffs in this leg of the IPL seem quite remote, and DC obviously cementing their place with yet another victory. Before we move on to tomorrow's preview, about discussing briefly about tomorrow's match, a small trivia question for both of our panelists tonight. I'm sure a question regarding DC, so I'm sure Dwaipan will be very quick on his feet, but the pressure is on Jay as well.
Already,
yeah. So the question is, I'm not a huge cricket aficionado like Dwaipan is, but I've tried to do some homework. So there's this bowler who is has got the highest hat tricks in IPL, is the second highest wicket taker in IPL so far, but has been unfortunate to never be a part of a victorious IPL side. So who is that player?
Amit Mishra.
True. Amit Mishra. So Amit Mishra from Delhi.
I knew the first part, but the second part is something I did not know. I thought he must have won at some point of time. So
So he is after Lasith Malinga, the highest wicket taker of all time. He's got the highest number of hat tricks, and he was successful in the first leg of the IPL, but hasn't been a part of DC this time. But
I just want DC should give them 3 games. He should get those 5 scalps and then get off, so that the record is there for DC. That's very
true. So now we time to discuss a brief preview about tomorrow's match. Once again, it will be between RCB and Punjab Kings. It will be in Sharjah. Once again, a low-scoring match, but let's hope that the players this time are able to perform well on the Sharjah pitch. Now, I feel that Punjab Kings has slowly become what RCB has always been in IPL, chaotic entertainers, so to speak, because they always, surprise us. They always let the matches slip to the last over. Sometimes they end up on the losing side. Sometimes they're the victorious side. But RCB this time, 4 points behind CSK and DC, but still 4 points ahead of the rest of the side. So very strategically placed on a third position. They have nothing to lose. But obviously, Rajasthan also showing that they can bounce back. That we'll be discussing the second match. So maybe Punjab Kings can learn a lot from them. Last time KL Rahul performed quite well. We discussed about how he deserves the orange cap and how he can, pull RR2 maybe Punjab to victory or maybe qualifying in the playoffs. So how do you think who will be the best performers in the match tomorrow for Punjab and RCB briefly? Weapon and then Jay.
Yeah, let Jay go for it. Jay,
Okay, 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 Jay, go
Okay,
on.
so I would go ahead with RCB because we have been able to see the Indian openers playing really good with Ruturaj Gaikwad, and so I would like to see Devdutt Padikkal again come out and play his magic, and him and Virat Kohli giving up a decent partnership. Then Glenn Maxwell in the middle order. So that kind of a matchup if it goes, so then that would be a really good performance for RCB. I am looking forward to that.
True. So Yuzvendra Chahal is also in the top 10 bowlers taking all-time highest wickets. So maybe he can improve his tally. And Devdutt Padikkal can hit his second century, hopefully for this season of the IPL. Can have a record. What do you feel, Dwaipan? Do you see
Yeah,
Punjab winning it or RCB? Like Jay?
yeah. I see RCB winning it, and I'm very intrigued about a new figure, a new name in their batting order called Shrikar Bharat. He's mainly in the side because ABD is too old. And I mean, ABD's body can't keep for
Too old.
20 overs, and I mean, I'll just ask someone to cut that part. But I mean, of course, he's what 37, 38 now. So his
True.
main role was as a keeper. But look at what he's done with the bat. Shrikar comes in at three in a side that has Kohli as three, ABD can bat at three, Maxwell can bat at three, but he's the one who comes at three. We have got Kohli, Padikkal opening, who are explosive batsmen. We are seeing Kohli teeing off. Kohli is not taking his time at the start. It's good to see. And we have ABD and Maxi. So Shrikar Bharat at the middle is kind of a glue that's holding two explosive batsmen and on either side. And that is something that for me looks very well thought out. The RCB think tank has said this. This is a fixed role for everybody to do. The bowling is doing well. I'll speak about the bowling some other day, but this is a specific segment of the batting that I'm looking forward to, and I hope they keep up with this template for at least this IPL till the time they are playing. So yeah, that's what I'm.
True, true. So both our panelists supporting RCB for the win tomorrow, but let's see whether Punjab surprises us all. Punjab match is always going to the last over, to the last ball. So hopefully we are in for a clincher tomorrow. That's it from our side on Sports Bash for the first discussion. We'll be back soon discussing the second match for the day. So do subscribe to the channel, do join us, do like, comment, and mention if you want us to discuss about any player, any team, and we'll surely try to present more such customized content for you guys. Till then, this is me Nishit signing off with my panelists Vaipan and Jay. Thank you all.